All you need to buy a prepaid cell phone is some cash. No credit check, no contract, and no identification.
Prepaid cell phones are a big thing in America. There are over 55 million people using them.
And according to law enforcement, they're also big with criminals, a way to avoid being tracked.
Prepaid cell phone has been a very difficult thing for certainly law enforcement and intelligence community to stay ahead of.
Investigations revealed Faisal Shahzad used a prepaid cell phone in his alleged bomb plot on Times Square. Now New York Senator Chuck Schumer wants to clamp down on those prepaid cell phones.
They've become the state-of-the-art method of communicating for many bad types of people. Terrorists at the top of the list.
So he's backing legislation requiring anyone purchasing a prepaid cell phone to show ID. Phone companies would keep that information for 18 months, allowing access to law enforcement should they need it.
I think really it's a losing proposition.
Former FBI Special Agent Jack Clunan says although the proposed legislation has good intentions, it won't stop terrorists from finding other ways to communicate anonymously.
Terrorists, whether they are the Pakistani Taliban or whether they are closely aligned with al-Qaeda, use technology to their advantage. And it's not just the prepaid cell phone. It's on all areas of communication, and including finances. They try to stay ahead of us, and we're always playing catch-up.
Clunan says there are just too many other options, like Skype, Wi-Fi phones, or even the traditional payphone. And as authorities get more sophisticated with technology, he says terrorists are doing the opposite, relying on low-tech methods.
It's the lone operator that flies well below the radar, that's not necessarily keen on using a lot of technology, that is so difficult to identify.
There is a very real impact on people who legitimately use prepaid cell phones, who just want their privacy.
Informants, newspaper sources, battered spouses. Sometimes there are legitimate needs to communicate privately. We don't want to close off all of those.
With resistance from both privacy advocates and a thriving industry that made $16 billion this year alone, it's unclear whether the bill will pass or whether it will do what it's intended to do, help law enforcement stay ahead of the intelligence curve. In New York, Bonny, Ghosh, The Associated Press.